Woke up to take the chick to her job this morning. Well, I was waiting on her to get ready. I just kind of popped on YouTube because I had a few minutes. First thing that pops up is the new Guns and Gadgets video. He's talking about SAPA and GOPA. So the new one is GOPA, Gun Protection Act, blah, 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 whatever it is. 38,000 views. I don't know how many comments. I think there's like 600 comments at that point. If you go down through there and read the comments, though, it's the same shit. All unconstitutional laws are null and void. There was one that said all unconstitutional laws are null and void, but this is moving in the right direction. That comment specifically stuck out to me because if you support something that's unconstitutional when it does favor you, or you believe it favors you anyway, you're supporting the same act when it doesn't, or you don't believe it favors you. We're leading to, and say I'm crazy, but it's definitely not looking that way. We're leading to the federal government just creating all national laws, and which will eventually be enforced by federal policing forces. I don't know how they would do that. I don't know if they just make all law enforcement federal enforcement agencies or what. I don't know. But it numbs my mind, man, and I'm so sick of repeating the same shit over and over and over again. And it's like nobody gets the message. Some people do. Occasionally I get an email, somebody's like, whoa, I didn't know that, or hey, you opened my eyes up to this thing. And like when that happens, it restrikes the fire and it makes it worth it. But that's few and far between that happens. In the meantime, though, you have people who are pretending to be pro right to keep and bear arms, who pretend to be pro rights at all, and then the whole end game is profit. They profit from you. Guns and Gadgets is a perfect example. If you go back and watch his first videos, if they're still up, he came into this because supposedly of our government overstepping its restrictions and violating our rights. Now, mind you, when he came into this, he was a sergeant at whatever police force he works for. I'm not the brightest one of the bunch, but I know that you don't become a sergeant by protecting the people's rights. I know you don't become a sergeant by arresting your fellow state hired thugs for violating people's rights. And eventually, over time, he grew to the point that now he, has 450,000 subs, and now he's part of Black Whatever Coffee. He owns part of it mysteriously. The same company he has been sponsored by and begging for your support. That would be like me a year from now taking part ownership in auto key cards. I mean, come on. It's no longer about the rights. People, they could care less. It's about money. What does Jared do for the community that helps? Does telling you what Congress is doing help? No, it doesn't. Now, he could help the same way that I say Code of War and any of the other ones could help. They could make a video stating the truth, showing the facts, and telling you why these bills are bad, all of them. If they made a federal law today, Congress put in a federal bill that said all gun laws are here on out illegal, I would be against that. I would be against it for the simple fact that the federal government doesn't have that power. They don't have the power to do that. Congress doesn't have the power to do that. Our system was designed so that the individual could have maximum individual liberty, limited government. So take, for example, the Constitution where it says all persons shall have the, paraphrasing, the same privileges and immunities in one state as they shall the next. The ideal for that was to keep laws at a minimum. You know, the Supreme Court had its place, which it's a total shit show now. But if a state created a law that was unconstitutional and somebody was arrested for that law, which is bullshit, they got to be arrested first, and then you can go up the chain all the way to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court could strike that law down, and then it would no longer be a law. But we're all over the place now. So, last night I asked the question, can it really be saved? Can we really save this country? My opinion is no. We can't. And we can't because everybody's a constitutionalist, yet no one has studied the Constitution. They can't tell you the littlest things about it. Ask somebody what the Constitution is. The next person that calls himself a patriot or claims to be a constitutionalist, ask them what the Constitution is. And see how they look at you. Ask them what duty they have to the Constitution. And watch how they look at you. We've watered down all these terms that have very specific meanings that meant something at one time. We've watered them down so much that they're meaningless now. Now it's about money. It's about popularity. It's about me. Not me, but me in general. I would like to see that change. I would love to wake up tomorrow to a video of somebody with 1 million subscribers saying, look guys, the federal government here is why the federal government doesn't have the authority to do this. They don't have the jurisdiction to create these laws. So that means that all their laws are meaningless. But even if that happened, we still have the problem that the state-hired thugs will enforce those laws. So what it all comes down to, and will always come down to, is whether or not you are willing to enforce the Constitution or not. Do it on your own, you die alone. Simple fact. You do it as a group, they call you a cult or some shit, and they whack you all, pass you off as some Waco type incident. The public buys it, and you're forgotten about it over the next 10 years. I think the best way forward, I'm going to get on the phone today, see if I can't get a hold of my governor's office, which, the governor is talking to everybody else, but I'm sure he won't talk to me because of, COVID. I'm going to try to make an appointment with the governor's office. I'm going to make the appointment under Freedom Inc. Media. And I don't know how I'm going to word it exactly yet, but anybody that's in Ohio, you guys are going to hopefully go with me. I'm going to try to get everybody in on the meeting as people from all over Ohio, because we have people from Ashland, Ohio. We have people from Columbus. We have people from Cincinnati. We have people from Dayton. We have people from Toledo. We have people from Delaware. We have people from Defiance. So we have people from all over the state. And we need to go have a meeting with our governor and say, look, we are done with the federal infringements. We are done with you allowing the feds in our state to execute their laws, their rule over the people. And right here's all the evidence. Right here's all the facts that states that you cannot do this, that you are violating our rights by allowing this to happen. In the meantime, as that's going on, because that'll take months. The last time it took me 3 months to get a meeting with the governor's office, and then I told them specifically I want to speak with Mike DeWine, and I wound up speaking with one of his constituent liaisons because he didn't have time for me because I didn't donate money or I wasn't important enough or whatever the reason was. But I think we all need to start working on our governors and letting them know that we are done with the federal government, the federal overreach. I don't see another way out of it. Because if you follow the mainstream, if you follow what everybody else is doing, you support exactly what you claim to be against. If you will support a federal bill that you believe aligns with your views, you are also supporting the federal bills that don't align with your views by the simple fact the federal government doesn't have the jurisdiction to create either. But by supporting the one that you believe aligns with your views, you are supporting the one that doesn't. It's a big fucking scam. You know, the day that you wake up and you realize what you've been robbed of will be the day you feel the most sickest you've ever felt in your life. And we've all been robbed. All of us. Imagine what freedom's really like.